All right, the battle lines are drawn in Chicago. Let's check it out. Hey, welcome to Rob Schmitt Tonight. The lines have been clearly drawn in a battle over basic federal law enforcement and quality of life in this country. In this fight, the city of Chicago is represented by Illinois' portly silver spoon governor who bought his seat with family money and a brain-dead mayor installed by a seemingly infallible left-wing machine where the Democrat primary is the election. Chicago Democrats have decided that basic federal immigration laws must no longer be enforced. And that's why we have such psychosis politically in this country right now. They've also decided in Chicago that the South Side's violent gangs must be protected from Trump's delusional and anarchist plan to keep black teenagers alive. On Saturday, ICE officers were attacked by violent mobs twice, 2 times. ICE officers were attacked in the city of Chicago. Both times vehicles were used in the attacks. DHS says in one instance, officers were rammed and boxed in by 10 vehicles. ICE boxed in by 10 vehicles in an attack. Miramar Martinez, the young lady on the screen, was shot by ICE officers, but she had a semi-automatic rifle on her. She and Anthony Ian Santos Ruiz both were arrested. DHS says Martinez was named in an intelligence bulletin last week for doxing agents and posting online, "Hey to all my gang, let's F those mother effers up. Don't let them take anyone." Yes. That is the young lady that was shot by ICE officers. That was a young lady part of whatever the plan was here, armed with a semi-automatic rifle. And yet, with that knowledge, here is the response from the governor of Illinois to this story.
Donald Trump's deranged depiction of Chicago as a hellhole, a war zone, and the worst and most dangerous city in the world was just complete BS. He clearly has decided to declare war on a great American city that has the lowest homicide rate in 60 years, in a state that has record employment and near record tourism. And he's done it for some unspoken reason.
Trump's depiction of Chicago as a war zone. Okay, bro. 30 people were shot in Chicago this past weekend. 5 were killed. Just because it's the safest Chicago has been in a very long time doesn't mean that Chicago is safe by any stretch. And then you also have the ICE riots and attacks. And we have radicalized Hispanic Americans now looking to start a war with federal immigration officers while carrying semi-automatic weapons. That's the safe utopia of Chicago that J.B. Pritzker loves to brag about on his social media when he takes a video at 6 o'clock in the morning and says, look, nobody's shooting each other. Trump responded to Pritzker late this afternoon.
Why is it that a governor wouldn't accept free help from regardless? I mean, whether it's National Guard or the military or anybody. I mean, we had a week in Chicago where 11 people were murdered and 38 people were shot. And then we have a governor get up and say, oh, it's safe, we can handle it. He can't handle it. He's an incompetent guy. That's why they threw him out of the family business. They threw him out. I knew the family business very well, and they threw him out, and now he's a governor.
Cleaned up D.C., he envisions this future where you just have safe cities in America, where there's not just an area of the city where you might get shot if you walk through. And they have vilified him to hell and back for this. And this has become a critical showdown. What kind of country do Americans actually want to live in? Who wants to live in cities that seem to accept and almost embrace violence and the chaos that comes with it, that designates themselves as sanctuaries for illegal immigrants in the country? Please come here with all of your problems and issues after entering the country illegally. Come here and abuse our system and take our resources. Who wants to live in that place? Do Americans want to be governed by people who refuse to implement policies that they know will make their community safer, which is what Democrats have done for years? They refuse to do the things that they know will make crime go down. They just refuse to do it. They know what it takes. They know it takes more cops and stronger laws and more support. They just won't do it. They'd rather just let, as I always say, the black bodies pile up on the sidewalk downtown. How much more can we actually take from the seemingly suicidal left? which has brainwashed its supporters into attacking those who do a job that every sophisticated first world country now employs, which is immigration enforcement. Here was Stephen Miller outside the White House today.
It's a common experience for ICE officers when they're conducting an arrest to be physically assaulted by others while they are carrying out an arrest. Now ICE officers have to worry about getting sniped from rooftops when they're coming and going from their facilities. They're attacked going in, they're attacked going out, where every night there has to be street battle against armed insurrectionists. And the fact that we've normalized these attacks on ICE officers, that is how you end up in a society in which domestic terrorism becomes the norm. If you can't see that since we've taken office, there has been a organized, systematized campaign to delegitimize, dehumanize, threaten, impede, obstruct, and physically assault ICE officers in their conduct of their duties, then I can't persuade you of it because you're choosing not to see what's right in front of your face.
As most of the media and the Democrats, too, they refuse to see what's happening. They refuse to acknowledge it. They're opposed to it ideologically. They can't see it. They refuse to. As we speak, the Texas National Guard is preparing to send 400 troops to Illinois to help secure the Chicago area after 2 attacks on ICE over the weekend. And loads of gun violence on the south side, as we just explained. Tonight, a judge has just declined to prevent that move by the president. Those troops are going to go. 400 troops to Chicago. It's a big move. The Democrats who control Chicago, of course, are outraged by this. Okay. Well, you didn't have that soundbite, but I think you know what outrage over that would probably sound like. Deporting illegal immigrants is inciting violence. That's what they say. Deporting illegal immigrants in a country that's always deported illegal immigrants for as long as we've had this issue, for as long as we've had some kind of a social net in this country and some kind of welfare, we've deported illegal immigrants. Suddenly now you're not allowed to do that anymore. The answer that they want is very clear. We brought in 20 million illegals. We want them here as a new voter base. And as long as ICE is deporting our new voter base, we will be putting a target on their backs. Portland was insane over the weekend as well. If we have that video, if we can pull it up here, guys. Ooh. We've had a computer issue. We don't have the video of Portland, so I'll just keep on going. Outside an ICE facility in Portland, though, it looked like a war zone, as a judge has just blocked the administration from sending any National Guard troops. A judge that sees that video has no concerns, sees what's happening in Portland, has no concerns whatsoever, sympathetic, of course, to the cause of the Marxist left. Always. These are the judges. Another activist judge. We see so many of them. They have an agenda, looking for a way to justify imposing her own will and simply hijacking executive powers. We're going to get into both of these issues when we come back with more. Stay tuned.
Just before Charlie Kirk died, he issued a stark warning of terrifying dangers ahead. Charlie wrote this in the foreword for the new book, Pagan Threat, by Pastor Lucas Miles. Charlie said that Pagan Threat could save America and that you must read and share this book. A #1 Amazon bestseller, Pagan Threat is available everywhere. Get Pagan Threat free with Newsmax's special offer and save $30. Go online today and read Charlie's final words.
I'm former Mets manager Terry Collins. The Tunnel Towers Foundation is very important to me, and I look for ways to try to support them any way I can. If a first responder is killed in the line of duty, T2T will pay off the mortgage for their family. That's just one of the ways T2T makes a difference. You can support their cause as well by donating $11 a month. Go to T2T.org, let's go Mets, and let's help Tunnel Towers.
Protect your family. Buy LifeVac now.
Thank you, Dad.
That was us over 10 years ago.
Now LifeVac is responsible for saving over 4,000 lives from choking.
In the time it takes you to pick up the phone and call, another life could be saved.
The LifeVac saved my life in 1 to 2 seconds.
Protecting families has always been our mission. I'm sure you love your family like I love my daughter. Do us all a favor and get your own LifeVac now.
Go to lifevac.net or call 877-LifeVac. Order now.
People always ask, why Patriot Gold Group? With over 10,000 clients to date and over $1 billion in transactions, Not a single complaint on the Better Business Bureau. Consumer Affairs top rated for 9 years in a row. Over 2,000 5-star reviews. The only company nationwide where you, the client, work directly with an owner. Home of the no fee for life IRA. Gold is up 80% in the last 28 months, 275% since Lehman Brothers collapsed. We are patriots protecting patriots. Give Patriot Gold Group a call at 888-528-4290 before it's too late. Patriot Gold Group is Consumer Affairs' top-rated gold and silver dealer 9 years in a row. Call now, 888-528-4290.
The buy one, get one free sale is happening right now at Cabinets to Go. Come in today and choose from a huge selection of popular color and style combinations that are sure to wow. And here's the best part. Our expert designers will help you get started with a free 3D design. It's never been easier or more affordable to bring your dream kitchen to life. Visit CabinetsToGo.com to find a store near you and come in today for big savings during our buy one, get one free sale. Cabinets to Go, designed to wow.
All right, ICE Director Todd Lyons joins us now. And, sir, it's good to have you back on. We had a Hispanic woman with a semi-automatic weapon, which, let's just start there for a second, who was shot by ICE officers in Chicago. Democrats that run the city are trying to exploit this story. What exactly happened here?
Well, Rob, you know, not only did she have a semi-automatic weapon, but she had a 14,000-pound vehicle that she was using as a weapon first. So 10 vehicles surrounded the Border Patrol team and aggressively crashed into them, forced them off the road, and then now they're boxed in. And at that point, we're in a deadly force situation. No one should be resisting law enforcement. No one should be ramming vehicles, right? But here you have, several individuals with 10 cars and trucks ramming into U.S. Border Patrol vehicles while they're just out there trying to do their job.
I can't even fathom witnessing something like that. In an American city, you have people just taking their cars and using them as weapons against federal law enforcement because they just don't think that federal laws should be enforced anymore.
And that's the sad thing, Rob, right? We had a sniper attack in one of America's largest cities last week. You never thought federal law enforcement would come under sniper attack in a city like Dallas, but it's become the norm now just because of such of the rhetoric that's going around about ICE agents and officers and their missions. Just because you have an issue with the law enforcement mission that ICE is doing every day, enforcing the laws enacted by Congress doesn't give you the right to threaten law enforcement or use deadly violence against them. It's just there's no place for that in our country.
This is federal law enforcement. These are laws that were enforced bipartisan. 15 years ago, everybody agreed that you had to deport people that are here illegally, and certainly you had to go after people that were here committing crimes after committing the crime of crossing into the country illegally. The governor of Illinois has been, I think, one of the greatest inspirations for this behavior. He's been awful, and he's been on TV constantly trying to gin this up. He's talking about this incident that you just explained, the woman with the semi-automatic rifle in the car ramming your officers. He says effectively that you can't be trusted because of what happened a couple weeks ago. Let's go ahead and take a listen to this soundbite.
We don't have a lot of facts. Remember, these are the same folks who killed a person, unarmed person, just a couple of weeks ago in Franklin Park. At first, they said that the officer had been threatened with his life. The reality of it and the truth of it has now come out, and that wasn't the case. They killed somebody. It's really hard to know exactly what the facts are, and they won't let us access the facts. They are just putting out their propaganda, and then we've got to later determine what actually happened.
Your reaction to that, sir?
It's just disgusting. Any elected official that wants to question what law enforcement has to do when they have to use deadly force in a situation. Again, it goes back to what I was saying earlier, right? You can't ram a vehicle. You can't drag a law enforcement officer for hundreds of feet. You can't resist arrest. If you use that vehicle in a deadly force situation, then any law enforcement officer around the United States is going to use whatever force necessary to not only save their life, but to stop that act. And I'm extremely proud of the ICE officers that were out there today. They acted within our policies and regulations, and they went home at the end of the day. And I'm sorry if people don't like immigration law or the way we do it, but the men and women of ICE will protect themselves and our other DHS partners.
They're trying to I think, create laws to keep you out of city-owned properties. So I guess that would be city parks, things like that. I'm not sure exactly. But is that a possible maneuver that they have, or can you guys just railroad that?
That's not going to stop us, Rob. Ever since they talk about, increased ICE presence since January 20th. We've been in Chicago for decades, and we're going to keep doing our job. And we will find ways to get the bad guys every day. If, the governor or the mayor weren't, didn't follow these sanctuary policies, we wouldn't have to go in their neighborhoods and arrest these criminal aliens. But again, they don't want to turn over public safety threats that they've already locked up on their own to us so we can remove them from the country. But we're going to make sure we continue to do our law enforcement mission.
ICE Director Todd Lyons. Sir, thank you for coming on. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Rob. Good talking to you.
All right, Senator Markwayne Mullin from Oklahoma joins us now. Let's start off and talk about, I guess the ideology here, and they're going after the people funding these riots against ICE and all this Antifa chaos. And it's obviously the right thing to do. The Treasury Secretary Besson's going to be a part of this as well, following the money. Talk about how important that is.
Well, listen, if you can figure out who's funding these paid protesters and these paid agitators, you can get them off the street. Democrats right now are supporting violence, and I can't understate that. I mean, you just saw, what is it, Jay Jones, the Attorney General in Virginia, that put out a text message and wanted to put 2 bullets in his opponent's head and also kill his children. And he went even further and he said he wanted to go pee on the guy's grave. He used another word, but I'm trying to, be nice here.
Right.
And you're going, what if the roles were reversed? What if this was, because Jay Jones is a black man, what if this was a white man that was a Republican that said the same thing about his Democrat opponent that was a black man? It would be literally all over the news. There'd be an investigation going. They'd be saying that Democrats are domestic terrorists, or Republicans are domestic terrorists and everything else. And what you're seeing right now is you're seeing left-wing parties that are being well-funded by people that oppose the Republican Party and support the Democrat Party, which means they're funding violence, and they're showing up, they're protesting, they're paying agitators to show up, they're getting them gear, they're getting them gas masks, they're getting them riot vests, they're getting them helmets. It's extremely concerning to me, and so what we have in this administration is saying that we're going to follow the money and strip the funding, and by the way, we're going to prosecute those that are doing this work like this.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, I think, to anybody that this is organic, right? That that there's this broad outrage over basic immigration policies that we've had in this country forever, that were bipartisan 10 years ago, that both sides, if you're illegal and you're here, you got to go home. We got to get you out of the country. That there's so much outrage over that. It seems very manufactured. It's very clear that there's some very dark money doing that. I want to play J.B. Pritzker, Governor of Illinois, who's loving all the attention of this, obviously, attempting to blame these ICE attacks on the president. Take a listen.
What the government is doing, what Trump is doing, is untethered from the facts. That's the case. He was claiming that it's mayhem on the on the streets of Portland. He's saying that, Chicago is a war zone. None of that is true. They're just making this up. And then what do? They fire tear gas and smoke grenades. People on the ground are frankly incited to want to do something about it appropriately. I mean, if you're on the ground and you're having tear gas pellets fired at you, you want to react. You want something to happen.
What's your reaction to that, sir?
How about don't interfere with federal agents doing their job? These are federal criminals, by the way. They're federal criminals, meaning that they came over into the country illegally, and they're federally fugitives at this point, or federal fugitives at this point. And so who's going to arrest them? ICE agents are going to arrest them. ICE agents' attacks on their bodies have increased by over 1,000% just recently. So why don't you just simply allow them to do their job? They didn't just show up. ICE didn't show up in their neighborhoods. ICE didn't show up in these protesters' backyards. They're out there catching the federal criminals that they need to deport back outside the United States, and these individuals are showing up to prevent them from doing their job. Yes, you play stupid games, you're going to get stupid results. And I'm quite frankly surprised that ICE agents are still showing as much restraint, because to me, every single person out there that's interfering with federal agents doing their job should be arrested and charged accordingly, period. There isn't one person that shows up that shouldn't be arrested because they're simply interfering with a federal agent doing his job. That's a crime punishable by jail.
Yeah, and the impetus of all this are politicians that have decided that federal immigration laws just shouldn't be enforced anymore, and they've brainwashed the people of this country to believe that. And then there's all that, like we said, dark money going into to fuel it all up and turn it into this chaos that we have now. And then you have Pritzker on TV playing the victim. It's just unbelievable. Senator, thanks for coming on.
That's right.
We appreciate it. Good to see you.
It's very unfortunate that Donald Trump and Republicans have decided to shut the government down because they're unwilling to provide health care to working class Americans.
We ought to be talking about the real issue here, which is that we have a health care crisis in America caused by the Republicans. They've barreled us towards a shutdown because they don't want to deal with that crisis.
All right, so some sound from the weekend there as a fifth failed Senate vote to fund the government has failed this evening on Capitol Hill, so this is not going to happen for a while. It sounds like it could be another week or so. Establishment Democrats right now trying to fight off the far left flank, eyeing their jobs. As we know, that's Chuck Schumer's big problem. Here was the president earlier. Take a look.
We want great health care for people. We don't want to give the money away to other people that come pouring into our country, and they've already poured because nobody's coming into our country now. We have the border totally stopped. The way you stop them is not to give away, not to announce that you're giving everybody free health care, free this and that. But what that does is it affects the American people because the American people are unable to get good health care. Obamacare has been a wreck, as you know. We are speaking with the Democrats, and some very good things could happen with respect to health care. I mean, you have right now subsidies. You have subsidies. That's the problem with Obamacare. The subsidies are so much. It's billions and billions of dollars is being wasted. And we can have a much better health care than we have right now.
It's as simple as that. I mean, they're screaming about health care. You can't play this game with this much debt and act like there's nothing else going on here. They're lying about health care. They're lying about who's getting it. And they're lying about the cost of it and how much they subsidize it. Take a listen to this moment here. This was MSNBC this morning. This is their senior congressional correspondent. Take a listen to how she talks about this issue with the House Speaker.
We're going to save $185 billion just in waste and abuse, which is going to make the program work better for the people who depend upon it.
They also say millions of Americans will lose access to Medicaid because of that. But I want to stay focused.
Not Americans, illegal aliens and able-bodied workers.
I think we both know that that's a misleading point here because this is talking about people with legal status, not people who are here illegally.
Not true. They just granted asylum and parole status to everybody.
Recognize what you're saying, but it's people who were granted asylum or parole, and so they were working through the process legally. But I want to get you on.
We can debate that at length. Yeah,
we could debate it at length, and if you want to stick around, I'm more than happy to do it.
I wish I could.
You just take a wand, and you have all of these asylum status people in this country, millions of them. Senator Ron Johnson joins us now to talk more about that. I want to start with your reaction to the way this is being posed to the American people by the left. That there's this healthcare crisis that has been manufactured by Republicans.
Well, to the extent we have a health care crisis in terms of premium costs, it's because of Obamacare. It's faulty design. You know, I always said we need to repair the damage done by Obamacare and transition to a system that actually works. I think that's what President Trump is talking about. But again, what Democrats' solution is, well, let's just throw money at our failed Obamacare. Let's not admit how wrong we were, how we didn't make care more affordable, that people were not able to keep their doctor or their health care plans. I mean, all those things were lies. And Democrats won't admit it. So instead, what they do is they point the finger at Republicans and say, because they're not throwing more money at a failed program, these enhanced subsidies has driven literally tens of billions of dollars of fraud, taxpayer money being paid to insurance companies and insurance brokers and agents for commissions on policies people don't even know they have, because we have these zero premium policies now that are, again, given to people that don't even know they've got it, so they're not even using the coverage. So again, it's massive fraud. Yeah. It's because of Obamacare.
And the idea that they say they're fighting for better and cheaper health care for the American people, while at the same time, and we know they're doing this, we've debunked this, that they want to give this out, that they want to allow anybody that has status in this country, which is now millions of people because they've just given that to them, to be on this as well. I mean, I guess they don't think that the American people can pick up on that. You can't give it away to all these people and have it be cheap and available for everybody else.
Right. You allow millions of people to fund this country. They utilize the emergency room as their primary care.
Yeah.
Somebody picks up the tab for that. So that's the American people through their higher insurance premiums, through their private plans, federal government through, again, increased costs of Obamacare policies. Again, this is a disaster. This has been caused by Democrat open border policies, by Democrats' flawed Obamacare.
Yeah. I want to talk to you about this. I saw the news conference this afternoon. You and other Republican senators briefed by the FBI about a recovered document that shows Jack Smith, the special counsel, this Arctic frost team that was investigating January 6th. You had your phone tapped by Jack Smith. Lindsey Graham, Marsha Blackburn, Hawley, others had it as well. Illustrate to us how big of a deal this is.
Well, first of all, they weren't tapped. They just extracted or obtained records from, I think, January 4th through January 7th or 8th of 2021 surrounding January 6th.
Okay.
So they got that metadata. But no, based on what I've found out investigating the federal government, it doesn't surprise me, but it should shock and outrage every American that people within this highly politicized, highly partisan FBI and Department of Justice under Biden just didn't see a problem in issuing a subpoena for members of Congress's records. And by the way, no Democrats involved in that. It's all partisan politics. So it is absolutely outrageous. We've got to find out an awful lot. And by the way, we didn't find this out because of the FBI coming clean. As much as Kash Patel and Dan Bongino want to find this out, this is because somebody, a lower-level agent that issued these subpoenas, actually listed this as an accomplishment as this individual is getting recertified for doing this kind of work. So this was kind of a fluke that we found out about this, because these are all informations in the privileged file under the Jack Smith lawfare against President Trump that he opened up to, again, that's the list of 100 different Republican organizations. Now he found this list of 8 senators and 1 House member that they obtained our phone records. Again, this is outrageous, the extent that they weaponize the federal government against Americans.
Yeah, well, they take a crisis, and that's what they made January 6th into, and they certainly know how to take advantage of those when they have them, and grab for power and everything that they need. Senator, thanks for coming on. We appreciate it.
Have a great evening.
So is a peace deal with Hamas really possible? Journalist and author Douglas Murray is coming up next.
I am Mr. H, owner of Immuno 150, possibly the most complete and best nutritional supplement in the world, bar none. Now, it has propelled me to 91 years of age and my wife Shirley to 82. Both of us are still cutting a wide swath in life, doing everything we did many years ago. All because of Immuno 150, and it can do the very same thing for you. Try it for 90 days so you can experience the difference it can make in your life. Nothing on the market can compete with the way we blend 70 plant-derived colloidal minerals with 80 very carefully selected nutrients. You'll be surprised if you take the recommended dose of Immuno 150 for 3 months. Place your order now so that you can be with us many years from now. Thank you and God bless.
Drop is finally here. Drop delivers the weight loss benefits of GLP-1 injections in easy-to-use oral drops, no needles.
That's right. The 2 big drawbacks with weight loss injections are high costs and weekly injections. Drop is flavorless and odorless, so you can just add it to water or your favorite beverage. Drop offers other advantages over injections too. With Drop, you can personalize your dosage based on your weight loss goals.
And because you add Drop to any liquid, there's no concern about injection site infections, bruising, or dosage confusion.
Drop is the easier, safer, cost-effective alternative to help you achieve your weight loss goals without the needles.
Can't find it anywhere? The Wellness Company has it. No consultation needed. Simply order online and use promo code SLIM to save $100. Visit dropthepounds.com/slim. That's promo code SLIM at dropthepounds.com/slim.
Hi there, I'm Dean Heskin, President and CEO of Swiss America. With trillions of dollars vanishing from the stock portfolios of retiring Americans, many hardworking people I speak with are concerned about the holdings in their IRAs. But I have good news for you. Our team at Swiss America can show you how easy it is to own gold in your IRA. You see, even with economic turmoil all around us, gold continues to not only be a safe haven, but is also increasing to all-time highs. The volatility of markets has created a lot of undue stress for people. Wouldn't you like that peace of mind that diversifying into metals can provide? For over 40 years, Swiss America has helped people just like you own precious metals in your IRAs. So don't miss this opportunity. Call or text our team at the number on your screen to receive a free copy of our Gold IRA brochure today.
Vehicle breakdowns are costly, but with Endurance, you could never pay out of pocket for a costly repair again.
They covered a $14,000 engine replacement.
Call right now to get $300 off any plan. Call now.
I have red lines. If certain things aren't met, we're not going to do it. But I think we're doing very well, and I think Hamas has been agreeing to things that are very important. I think we're going to have it soon. I think we're going to have a deal. They really want the hostages back, and they really want things to end. And I think Hamas now has been, all I can say is they've been fine. They've been fine. I hope it's going to continue that way. I think it will. I really think we're going to have a deal. We have a really good chance of making a deal, and it'll be a lasting deal.
Still optimistic. President Trump says peace in Gaza across the Middle East has never been closer, saying he expects a deal with Hamas as Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner negotiate the fine print in Cairo. Reporting has emerged from Axios of this apparent rift, though, between Trump and Netanyahu in this process over Hamas's response to the 20-point plan, and they're indicating that they'd be going along with that. Netanyahu wasn't nearly as impressed as the president was, and Trump scolding Netanyahu, according to Axios, for being too negative, calling it a win, telling the prime minister he needs to take that win. Trump responded to that report earlier.
Is that true?
No, it's not true. He's been very positive. He's been very positive on the deal. Everybody is. I think every nation is. We have just about every nation working on this deal and trying to get it done. Incredibly, everyone just came together. They all came together. No, Israel's been great. They've all been good.
All right, Douglas Murray writes some incredible books. The latest is on democracies and death cults, Israel and the future of civilization, and he joins us here on the set. And good to have you here. We appreciate it.
Good to be with you.
It's, you know, you follow this way that this group works, Hamas, these terror groups. It's surreal to me to think that they're just going to release these people because that's their leverage, right? What do you think happens here?
Well, if the reports are accurate that Hamas is negotiating, I mean, it said on Friday they were willing to negotiate, which considering the president's deadline was Sunday, is pretty bold of them to still be holding out. The amazing thing about this is we're now at the second anniversary of this war beginning. It began, of course, with the invasion into Israel on October the 7th. There were always two things that the Israelis said that they wanted to achieve as objectives of the war. The first was the return of all hostages. And the second was the destruction of Hamas and the insurance that Hamas would never again be running the Gaza. Now, the amazing thing is, a lot of people said you can have one of those, but not both. The amazing thing is, this peace plan actually presents a way that Israel gets both of those things.
Right.
Now, what does Hamas get out of it? Its remaining fighters have been told if they hand over the remaining hostages, and just think of it, there are 20 or so living, thought to be, about 30 bodies.
Yeah.
Think of, I mean, this is a group that holds dead bodies, perhaps for 2 years, and they use them as collateral. I mean, these are really, really sick
They're animals,
people. But they've been told that if they put down their weapons and they leave, they will have some kind of amnesty. Of course, Hamas will be very suspicious about that, but frankly, the destruction of Hamas's leadership and its membership in the last 2 years of war is extraordinary. One of the reasons why the negotiations have been difficult is that Hamas leaders die at an enormously swift rate over the last 2 years because they started a war and then they lost it. But this is going to, it's a very, very important juncture. If the hostages are returned home to Israel, the living and the dead, it'll be one of the most important things for Israel to effectively decide the war is over, we can rebuild.
If this doesn't happen, if it falls apart, which it's hard for me to imagine that this goes as smooth as we're hoping that it does. Israel goes in and they have the full support of the United States. I mean, how long does it take to finish this? And can you finish it? Is it possible to finish this?
It's certainly possible to finish it. The question really is that there have always been two wars going on since October the 7th. There's been the war that the IDF has been involved in, along with the Israeli Air Force, in Gaza, Lebanon. I've been with them for much of the last couple of years and seen this up close. There's also, of course, been the aerial campaign against the revolutionary Islamic government in Iran. But that's one war, and that has had an extraordinary success. I mean, if you think back 2 years, when Yahya Sinwar launched his attempt to annihilate Israel on the 7th of October, if he'd have imagined that 2 years on, he would be dead, almost all of the rest of the leadership of Hamas would be dead, Gaza would have undergone 2 terrible years of war, Hezbollah almost entirely decimated, and the Israeli and American air forces having freedom to fly over the skies of Iran and bomb what they need to bomb. That's an amazing victory of 2 years. But the other thing, the other war, is the one outside Israel.
Right.
And that is the one that Israel has been losing, which is the war for hearts and minds and public opinion. Because we have seen, as I say in my book, on democracies and death cults, we have seen in cities like the one we're sitting in, open, repeated support, not for the Palestinian people, but for Hamas. Veneration of these death cults like Hamas and Hezbollah on our college campuses in the US, on the streets of American cities. This is the thing that is most disturbing in a way. Why has a whole generation in this country leant towards supporting not our democratic ally?
How are so many Jewish Americans thinking that this is that what Israel is doing is a genocide? I can't imagine that polling was just surreal to me.
Look, for the last 2 years, there have been all of these claims, all of these lies, all of these smears. I know they're smears. I've seen it up close, and it makes no rational sense. But you know what? All the people who've pushed lies, like the idea that the Israeli army are trying to commit genocide in Gaza, those lies end up with a consequence. There was one consequence just last Thursday in Manchester, or in England, where I'm from, where a man who had clearly imbibed all of these lies, who Britain had allowed in, a Syrian refugee, first name Jihad, not a good sign. Jihad goes to a synagogue in Manchester and starts stabbing to death Jews, because he is one of the people who believed what much of the media in the West, many of the extremist imams and others in the West, and mainstream voices have been saying for the last 2 years, which is just lie after lie after lie.
It's so scary, and I'm hoping that Trump has a way. I mean, he has such influence over Qatar, and hopefully we can start moving that ideological problem in another direction, because that's really scary.
Well,
Qatar,
absolutely key. They have to stop funding terror.
Exactly. Douglas Murray, thank you so much. On democracies and death cults. Thank you so much, Douglas. Good to see you. Text messages released show what's inside the mind of a psycho running for office in Virginia. That's next.
As Israel suffers attacks on 7 different fronts, it's her poor and elderly who are barely making it through each day.
The tears are from the pain of the life that she's lived. She's a survivor of Auschwitz. The years that they would just beat her, years that she didn't have food and felt hungry.
She paid a horrible price to come home from Ethiopia. She lost in that journey her 6-year-old son. A couple of weeks later, she lost her family. She is a wonderful woman, and she is very poor.
I pray that we answer these cries, and our answer is love.
With a gift of only $25, you'll deliver a life-saving food box into the hands of an elderly Jew in need.
She's saying people have a heart. There are good people today.
Call, scan, or go online now, and the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews will rush your food box today.
Hallelujah. This is a holy moment. What you're doing is not simply being kind. You are prophetically stepping into the scriptures and being part of their redemption and our own.
When you call right now, your gift will be doubled to help save lives. Call now.
In a world where Israel is under attack, Christians can help fulfill biblical prophecies through practical support and genuine friendship.
For everything you are doing
Thank you. It's perfect.
This is what a simple food box does.
You can bring joy, hope, and love to someone praying for your help today. So please call, scan, or go online now.
My employees and I want to thank all of you at Newsmax for your continued support of MyPillow. It's because of you and the grace of God that we're making it through. And to thank you, we're bringing you the best offers ever. Get our MyPillow bed sheets, only $29.88. Any color, any style, any size, even kings, regularly $119.98, now only $29.88. Our My Towels are finally back in stock. Get a 6-piece My Towel set, regular $69.98, now only $39.98. Towels that actually work. What a concept. And for the first time and the only time ever, you're going to get our limited edition premium My Pillows. They're made with Giza cotton and a designer gusset. Queen $17.98, Kings only $19.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code when you order today. Inventory for these offers are extremely limited, and once they're gone, they're gone.
As a cardiologist, when I put my patients on a statin to reduce cholesterol, I also tell them it can deplete their CoQ10 levels. I recommend taking Cunol CoQ10. Cunol has 3 times better absorption than regular CoQ10. Cunol, the brand I trust.
All right, so a very twisted soul named Jay Jones is currently running to be the next Attorney General of the state of Virginia. Jones had a pretty good shot at this seat in the election coming up here about a month or so, but that should likely collapse as voters realize that he is a very disturbed soul. These text messages, you've probably seen some of these, talking about pissing on another politician's grave and saying if he had 3 people, the former House Speaker in Virginia, Todd Gilbert, Hitler, and Pol Pot, and only 2 bullets, that Gilbert would get 2 bullets to the head. All these messages have just been revealed in this October surprise. Jones then went after that person, Gilbert's children, saying that he hoped his kids would die because only when people feel pain personally do they move on policies. Talking about Republicans here. This is the Democrat running for Attorney General in Virginia. Adding, do I think Todd and his wife Jennifer are evil and that they are breeding little fascists? Yes. Despite all this coming out, Democrats in the state still seem to be behind Jones because at the end of the day, all they care about is political power. Virginia Beach Democratic Committee releasing a statement on Saturday that they still firmly stand behind Jay Jones, a Democrat running for governor in this election coming up here in about a month. Abigail Spanberger releasing a statement condemning his violent language but not calling on Jones to leave the race. Something else. Jason Miyares is the current Attorney General of Virginia. He is running for re-election against Jones and joins us tonight. It's good to have you back on. It's a heck of an October surprise in this election you have here. What's your reaction to this?
Well, I mean, I was floored by it. I mean, as the Attorney General of Virginia, you're supposed to be the top prosecutor. You're the one trying to stop violence, and he's running for this job as somebody who's advocated for violence. Yeah. But to give you your background, as you've noted, what set him on this course is he was upset that some Republican legislators had attended the funeral and said nice eulogies on behalf of a Democratic legislator, member of the Assembly, that had passed. And that's when he really went on this rant, said that he would piss on the grave of his political opponents, said he'd want to put 2 bullets in the head of Todd Gilbert. And I think what's most shocking is he was called out at the time by this colleague saying that this is not how you talk about somebody you work with and serve with. And that's when he doubled down. And that's when he said Jennifer Gilbert, he wanted, to see that the children died in her arms. To put you in perspective, he's met Jennifer. He's met her children. Jesus. At the time, Todd's kids were only 2 and 5 years old. So I can't imagine the mindset that you're coming from where you would say this about someone. And to tell you the difference of perspective, I mean, it's really hard for me to even get my arms around it.
Have you spent much time with this man? How well do you know him? And is there any, I mean, when I see the pictures of him, he just seems like such a kind of easygoing, big, tall guy. And then he just has this demented side of him that, I mean, these messages are just horrific and he doesn't deny it. Did you see any indication of this in your opponent here?
No, that's part of what makes this painful is I wouldn't call him a friend. He's somebody that we served with together. I served in the General Assembly before being elected Attorney General 4 years ago. And it just makes me think, well, what has he said about me? Because I'm actually on the opposite side of the ballot from him. And I think that is part of what is so disturbing. To say this about a colleague and their children. This wasn't just something imaginary. These were children that he met, a wife that he has met. I think it is beyond disqualifying right now. And so, listen, as Attorney General, I'm Attorney General of everybody. I have met with the victims that actually have lost children to violent crime. And I can tell you, there's no cry like the cry of a mother that has lost her child. When you meet with those victims, to so callously, which tells me Jay never has. He's never been a prosecutor in his life. We know that. But it's clear he's never met with these victims. And I'm the Attorney General. I'm the people's protector for all Virginians. Republicans, Democrats, or independents. I never ask a victim, hey, did you vote for me? That's not my mindset as Attorney General.
Hopefully this will be disqualifying for him with the people of your state, because I can't imagine voting for this, and I can't imagine having somebody with that disposition as the Attorney General in the state. But that's just that's a wild story. And when Morning Joe over on MSNBC is saying he needs to get out, that's not a good sign for any Democrats. So hopefully Spanberger and others grow a pair and actually condemn this. Good to see you, sir.
If you want to stop this, go to standwithjason.com and we could stop this type of language here in Virginia. Appreciate you having me on.
The Attorney General for the state of Virginia, Jason Miyares, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, so if you're looking for a crack in this insanely expensive housing market, foreclosures are now surging in this country. As of August, foreclosure filings had risen 6 straight months year over year. We're up 18% from the same period last year. And despite a rate cut from Jay Powell, mortgage rates are still climbing too. EJ Antoni was nominated to run the Bureau of Labor Statistics by Trump and joins us now to talk about this. And it's good to have you on. We're going to talk about BLS here in a second. First, just want to get your reaction. What is up with this housing market? Everybody talks about it. They talk about how expensive it is. Are we seeing a crack now?
To a certain extent. Unfortunately, though, I think it's going to take many years before we actually get a full, real broad-based correction here. The Federal Reserve, it's difficult to overstate how much they have completely botched the job and frozen over this housing market. And the other big thing that we're finally starting to see now are all of the folks who got a specific type of adjustable rate mortgage in 2020, where you essentially have a low fixed rate for 5 years, but then it starts ticking up to reflect current market rates. Well, that was 2020 when they got those products. It's now 2025, 5 years later. And as those higher mortgage payments kick in, just like what happened beginning in 2007, you're seeing a lot of folks, unfortunately, lose their homes.
Yeah, that's you just wonder where this. You knew something had to break. I mean, there's the cost of a house is doubled in 5 years and sometimes tripled, and the wages haven't. So I'm wondering how everybody can afford these homes to begin with. I want to talk about BLS for a second. You were nominated to run the Bureau of Labor Statistics. This is, an agency that Trump has had real issues with. Trump fired the former head, citing really bad stats. These revisions that would come in, oftentimes much lower for Democrats. He believed they were much higher for Republicans, a lot for himself a lot. What happened to your nomination?
Well, unfortunately, we just had a lot of senators that weren't even willing to meet with us, weren't even willing to have a conversation. And, as you pointed out, there are some severe problems at the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and these problems need to be addressed. And it really is a shame, because the very senators who couldn't even be bothered taking a meeting, let alone having a hearing on the matter, those are the people who are trying to set legislative policy based on numbers that are literally completely unreliable. And so they should have a special interest in getting those numbers fixed and making sure the data is accurate and it's delivered in a timely manner. Literally just last month, we got the biggest annual revision ever, over 900,000 jobs, as you're aware, almost all of which were during the Biden administration. It turns out those jobs never even existed. For perspective, that accounted for over half of the job growth during Biden's last year in office. So all of those great numbers we kept hearing about, turns out wasn't true.
Giving people the idea that Biden was doing a great job on the economy when he wasn't. There was something there. It's a shame that they wouldn't even meet with you after that and after these indicators. That's something else. EJ Antoni, we appreciate you coming on.
Thank you for having me.
What a way to simp for Big Pharma.
Autism is not an epidemic. It's a difference in how the brain works.
A wide leaf filter? It's well designed, efficient. I appreciate that.
Leaf Filter's technology keeps debris out of your gutters for good, guaranteed.
What more could you ask for?
Call 833-LEAF-FILTER today or visit leaffilter.com.
My name is Mike Hammond, founder of Cigna Relief. Much of my career has been working in construction, and I love the outdoors and horses. That active lifestyle is what has caused my body to hurt. I didn't want to let this affect my family or my life, and that's what motivated me to create a team to build the Cigna Relief Patch. Clinically shown that over 85% felt relief in just 72 hours, with almost half feeling significant relief in just 15 minutes. It's drug-free, reusable, and it comes with a money-back guarantee. Whether it's your neck, back, knee, shoulder, or just aches and pains, this patch can give you your life back. When I gave my best friend a patch with tears in his eyes, he said it was the first time in 16 years he did not hurt. Join the hundreds of thousands who found relief. I'm asking you to try the Cigna Relief Patch today by going to our website. If you're thinking about buying, it means you need one. You have nothing to lose. I promise the patch works.
For 250 years, America has depended on the courage of those who serve. They've defended our freedom and helped us become the nation we are today. At Wounded Warrior Project, we honor the past by building a better future for post-9/11 veterans, service members, and their families. They've given us their best. Join us in supporting them through the next 250 years of strength and resilience. Visit woundedwarriorproject.org/USA250.
Derriere, caboose, booty, badunkadunk. No matter what you call it, if you have hemorrhoids, your tushy is no laughing matter. So don't use a cream that treats your rear end like a joke. Get serious relief with Recticare Advanced Hemorrhoidal Cream. Recticare Advanced is seriously effective with 2 powerful medicines for rapid dual-action relief, soothing the uncomfortable swelling, itching, and pain of your hemorrhoids. For serious hemorrhoid relief for your buns, get Recticare Advanced.
Tommy Copper's shoulder support bra will be your new favorite.
I love how I feel when I wear it.
Available in 2 styles you'll want to wear every day for all-day comfort.
I'll take all the help I can get.
Go to TommyCopper.com. Save 40% site-wide today.
I'm Elmer Heinrich, at 91 years of age, with my wife Shirley, who is 82. Now, both of us are still cutting a wide swath in life, all because of Immuno 150. Now, we are asking you to use Immuno 150 like we do. Give it a chance for at least 90 days so that you can see what 70 plant minerals and 80 additional nutrients can do for you.
It really is incredible.
Yeah, try it. You will be surprised. Order now. You'll be glad you did.
Drop is finally here. Drop delivers the weight loss benefits of GLP-1 injections in easy-to-use oral drops, no needles.
That's right. The 2 big drawbacks with weight loss injections are high costs and weekly injections. Drop is flavorless and odorless, so you can just add it to water or your favorite beverage. Drop offers other advantages over injections too. With Drop, you can personalize your dosage based on your weight loss goals.
And because you add Drop to any liquid, there's no concern about injection site infections, bruising, or dosage confusion.
Drop is the easier, safer, cost-effective alternative to help you achieve your weight loss goals without the needles.
Can't find it anywhere? The Wellness Company has it. No consultation needed. Simply order online and use promo code SLIM to save $100. Visit dropthepounds.com/slim. That's promo code SLIM at dropthepounds.com/slim.
Welcome back. Time now for News from the Left. A great example of the desperation to vilify anything Trump does. The president's health team right now is trying to end autism in this country. They're doing some fantastic work. So now, apparently, autism is wonderful.
Autism is not an epidemic. It's a difference in how the brain works. Contrary to RFK Jr.'s bigoted evaluation, autistic people are not tragedies. They are students, they are workers, they are neighbors, artists, athletes, and thinkers who strengthen our communities.
This jackass. I mean, that is one of the worst things I think I've ever heard. That you're going to simp that hard for Big Pharma and you're going to try and vilify as they try to find the root of something that has done so much damage to our kids in this country. How many nonverbal autistic children will never live the kind of life that they should have? And if that's preventable, what we shouldn't prevent it because Robert F. Kennedy wants to prevent it? J.B. Pritzker says, how many autistic kids does he have? How does he know? What the most ridiculous things these people say, and there's nobody condemned that, by the way. That was broadly supported because they're acting like this is some kind of an assault on autistic kids. It's just despicable. Finally, here, President Trump taunting Al Sharpton with a very unflattering photo, calling for an investigation into how he still has a job, posting on Truth Social saying he got to know Brian Roberts of NBC, who gave him would become one of the lowest rated shows in TV history. Roberts is afraid to take him off because it wouldn't be politically correct. Trump wants a Federal Communications Commission investigation into the license of NBC, which he says shows almost exclusively positive Democrat content and basically all negative Republican content. And he's exactly right. And that's exactly what's happening over at CBS right now. They're gutting the whole place, cleaning it out, going to turn it into something that's actually watchable for the entire country and actually has journalism. NBC should follow suit. All right. Another rich country star goes woke. Humiliating himself next.
Closed captioning brought to you by MagnaLife Knee Pain Relief for pain, stiffness, and inflammation of the knees.
The pain in your knees is real. Here's what real customers have to say about MagnaLife Knee Pain Relief Gel. It has worked wonders. I love it.
Available at your local retailer.
Ransomware scares me.
Cyberman to the rescue. PCmatic blocks the ransomware that hijacks your computer and your data, then demands a ransom.
Hackers are terrifying.
Hackers are always spying on your computer. PCmatic's VPN stops hacking.
My computer is slow.
PCmatic makes your computer faster. PCmatic is made in America and protects homes, businesses, and governments.
Thank you, Cyberman. Go to PCmatic.com.
I lost 110 pounds. You couldn't tell it all because of my excess skin. Sono Bello changed that in one visit.
Introducing the new Lift EX, the just one visit total body transformation everyone is talking about.
I am super happy with my results.
I decided to give Sono Bello a try. Look at me, I have a silhouette. You can see my waist.
Lift EX is Sono Bello's breakthrough 360-degree body lift alternative. Our body contouring experts sculpt, tighten, and lift your stomach, waist, thighs, and backside, all in just one visit with less downtime.
Sono Bello targeted the areas diet exercise could not do. I found me again.
Sono Bello has over 50,000 five-star reviews, and Lift EX is exclusively available at Sono Bello, America's #1 cosmetic surgery specialist. Book your free, personalized consultation today. Easy monthly plans make your best body more affordable than ever.
This year is my year thanks to Sono Bello.
Call Sono Bello for your free consultation today.
I tried the new 100 milligram generic Viagra for only 87 cents from Friday Plans that everyone is talking about. I wanted to see if it's a scam. Here's what happened. I just had to fill out the online health form, which took me under 2 minutes, and a licensed doctor approved me for a free prescription the same day. They even included free 3-day discreet shipping right to my door. I tried my first tablet, and within 30 minutes, it was working as well as the name brand. My wife can't stop smiling, and my confidence is through the roof. Scan the QR code or go to grabfridayplans.com to try it for yourself. I still can't believe I got 9 tablets of 100 milligram generic Viagra for just $7. I feel like I'm in my 20s again. My wife even told me, "You're like a whole new man." Don't wait as long as I did. It is the best $7 I have ever spent. Scan the QR code or go to grabfridayplans.com right now to get yours before this deal runs out.
One of these has chlorine, microplastics, and forever chemicals in it. And one is Aquasana filtered. With our Aquasana water filter, every glass is cleaner and healthier. Wait, which one? Visit aquasana.com today.
Imagine this banana is a Byrna less lethal launcher, capable of shooting rock-hard kinetic and tear gas mixed with pepper chemical irritants.
The ammo can incapacitate an attacker from 60 feet away without causing death.
This Byrna less lethal launcher is legal in all 50 states. No permits required.
Over 600,000 Byrna pistol launchers have been sold to government agencies, law enforcement agencies, and to private citizens.
Do you want to know what the Byrna less lethal launcher looks like? Visit Byrna.com.
Introducing Stogo, the only apparel with adjustable medical-grade support engineered with high-strength cables that reinforce the body, designed to help you overcome injuries, minimize pain, and regain the confidence to get back out there. Learn more at Stogo.com.
Fine tonight. I don't really know what happens to these people when they get rich and famous, but country star Zach Bryan has just decided to try and implode his career, posting a new preview for a song called Bad News, which absolutely hammers Again, common sense immigration policies that have been put together by this president. The new song lyrics go as this. And ICE is going to come bust down your door, try to build a house. No one builds no more. But I got a telephone. Kids are all scared and all alone. Adding, the bar stopped bumping, the rock stopped rolling, the middle finger's rising, and it won't stop showing. Got some bad news. The fading of the red, white, and blue. I'm going to bring in Finnerty here to talk about this. What on earth? He's a country star. What on earth would... And again, these are policies that every administration has had up until, what, Biden?
If it was 2020 and Joe Biden was president, maybe I'd say, all right, he's reading the room, like the country just swung to the left. But the fading of the red, white, and blue, you are wrong, sir.
He's dead wrong.
Yes.
He's going to pay for that one, too, I bet.
Good to see you, Rob.
All right.
Thank you.